why don't you just paint a picture of kind of your journey through the mortgage industry up to this point, to kick off the call?
Yeah, man, absolutely. First of all, thanks for inviting me on to talk on your podcast.
For sure.
Definitely appreciate the opportunity. And just to kind of tell you a little bit about me specifically. So I've been in the industry going on about 7 years now. Started out in consumer direct at one of the top mortgage companies in the nation. Just hitting the phone, smiling and dialing, man, and worked my way through the system. Was vice president of the largest veteran-owned bank in the United States for a while, for about 5 years. And after that, realized that was never going to be my baby. I have an entrepreneurial spirit about me, so branched out, started my own thing, and here we stand, man. Skyway Financial, doing big stuff.
What led you to take that leap?
Well, at the end of the day, I'd worked my way up the corporate ladder to a point where I was at a fork in the road on the direction that I wanted to go. The market was shifting at the time. We were in a refinance boom, but I felt like we were about 6 months away from a very serious shift. And at the point where I had to go to management to chat about how I had plans to kind of change up my marketing strategy, the fact that I had to go and ask for approval and jump through those hoops to ultimately get shot down on my ideas led me to realize, well, this is never going to be my baby. I need to step outside my comfort zone and do something on my own. And thankfully I did, because the market shifted very quickly into not a refinance boom anymore. And a lot of the people that were at the place that I worked are no longer there, or have completely gotten out of the industry, because I don't want to talk smack or anything like that, but I feel like one of the biggest benefits of being a broker versus working at a large place is your ability to adapt to tough markets. You kill what you eat. And that's what I had the privilege of doing, was getting kind of a 6-month start on a really tough market. And here we are today. So
that's awesome. What do you feel are some of the, I know that you are always trying to find new ways to grow your business. What do you feel are some of the things that you would define as strengths within your brokerage?
Strengths, willingness to try new things. Even GVS at one point was, we saw your ads on Facebook, and it was an attention grabber for us, but it was outside our comfort zone at the time. And I told my wife, I was like, you've got to be willing to branch out and try different stuff in a tough market. And ultimately kind of having that willingness to adapt has been what's kept us alive, that, and also really focusing on, relationships with our clients. Most of my clients we stay in touch with on a regular basis with, and I would say I have a lot of friendships out of, clients that we've had in the past. So yeah, I would say those two things.
One of the questions that all leads me to is, I'd be curious about, what are some lessons you feel that you had the unique privilege of learning from doing consumer direct?
Okay. So lessons that I've learned from consumer direct. Consumer direct,
or how do you feel consumer direct better set you up for success now as a broker?
That's actually a really good question. I actually think that consumer direct was, for me, and still is, the backbone of our business model. When someone asks me Skyway Financial's business model, I say we're a retail consumer direct hybrid, where most of our business is, built around referrals, but we also buy a lot of leads that lead to those referrals.
Sure.
So in the original consumer direct business model, it's only buying leads and working those. And while I was at the companies that I worked at, they helped me build a strategy. Like we would time block, we would, call our leads multiple times, 3-5 times a day, really hit the phones hard, follow up, follow up, follow up. I think a lot of people who are only in the retail model don't understand how important it is to really dive in and not be afraid to call people 3 times a day, even if that feels excessive. The reality is consumers a lot of times are getting blown up to the point where even if you call 3 times a day, there's so many other people calling that they don't even recognize your number half the time. So you're not going to offend somebody by calling. And if you are offending them, guess what? They're going to pick up and tell you, hey, cut it out, So, to loop back to what you said, consumer direct is really the backbone to our business model. It's something that I don't think that I would have been as strong of a loan officer had I not had that training. And I'm super thankful for the opportunity that I had to be exposed to that.
Austin, did you have any door-to-door sales experience in your life?
Did I? No, I didn't. But I will say that for me, I had a version of that where basically we were given county tax records, which is essentially like calling out of the phone book.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's like door-to-door sales.
Yeah, I mean, it's a form of it. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And the reason I was asking is I've talked to a handful of people that I felt were pretty successful and they've done some cool things in the industry. And one of the threads was door-to-door sales, right? But I would even make, if you're used to a boiler room or some kind of a call center-esque where you're, calling public data like that, that's that's a version of it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm trying to refrain from mentioning specific businesses, but I can tell you, like, when I walked in my first day, it was cubicle-like. We walked in, everybody was on the phone, smiling and dialing, always be closing. We had morning meetings. People literally, like every single month, we had the opportunity to win. The top 10 commission checks were posted publicly for everybody to see it. And also, at the end of the day, that was motivation for me to get after it. So
yeah,
when somebody's publicly putting your numbers in front of somebody, like,
yeah, show up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot. I think that's an interesting concept. Maybe we should do that at GVS and just say everybody's got to put their numbers up.
That's interesting. I would. Yeah, I support it, man. I support it. It's kind of like not culturally acceptable to some degree anymore, like everybody's a winner type mentality. But in a tough market like this, like, fuck all that, dude. Like, the reality is we need to push ourselves. And the best way to do that is to be public about where you stand in your sphere of influence.